In November of 2025, a video appeared. It showed President Vladimir Putin of Russia. He was at a public event in a city called Samara. People watched this video very carefully. They saw something different about his right hand. The hand looked swollen. It also looked red. The skin on his hand seemed thin. Some people said his hand looked sore. His veins seemed bigger than normal beneath the skin. President Putin kept his hands close to his body. He often made fists. Some people thought he was trying to hide his hands. Or maybe he wanted to protect them from being seen clearly by everyone. This video was shared very quickly. Many people saw it on the internet, on social media platforms. News channels around the world also showed it to their viewers. Soon, people around the globe started talking a lot. They asked many questions about President Putin's health. He is a very powerful leader. He leads Russia, a very big and important country. People wondered if he was sick. Was he hiding a secret illness from the public? This question about his health was not new, but this specific video made the questions much louder and more urgent. It made many people think about his health again. The leader of a country like Russia holds much power. His health is important not only for his country, but also for other nations around the world. If a powerful leader is sick, it can change many things for everyone. It can affect how his country makes big decisions. It can also change how other countries interact with Russia. People started to worry about these possible changes. Many people wondered why his hand looked like this. Was it something small, like a simple bump or a tired hand? Or was it a sign of something much more serious and unknown? This question quickly became a big topic for discussion everywhere. People wanted to know the truth about the Russian president's physical state. They talked about it in different countries, on television, and on social media. They wanted to understand what was happening with the powerful leader. The video made everyone look closely at President Putin and wonder about his well-being. The mystery of his hand began to spread globally, creating much talk and many thoughts about the powerful leader's secrets. 2. A close look at the hand. In November 2025, President Vladimir Putin attended a public event in Samara, Russia. He met with a young activist named Yekaterina Leshinskaya. During this meeting, a video was filmed. It showed Putin standing still with his hands held tightly at his sides. He kept his hands in clenched fists. People quickly noticed something different about his right hand. It looked very swollen. The veins on it were big and stood out under his skin, which looked thin and wrinkled. The hand also had a strange reddish or dark color. Throughout the video, Putin did not change his posture. His hand stayed tightly clenched. Soon, people started talking about the video. Anton Gerashenko, a former advisor to Ukraine's Interior Ministry, shared the video on social media. He asked, "What's with Putin's hands in this video?" He also wrote that Putin's veins were bulging. Another Ukrainian journalist, Dmytro Gordon, described the hands as swollen and sore, with veins bulging prominently on one hand. The pro-Ukrainian news outlet Nexta reported that social media users were confused, saying the hands looked extremely painful. This story quickly became big news. The video spread fast on social media platforms like X. Many international news websites and TV channels covered it. Papers like the New York Post and Newsweek, along with other big news companies, talked about Putin's hand. Most reports focused on three things. The hand looked swollen, the veins were very visible, and Putin seemed to be uncomfortable or trying to hide his hands. 3. Not the first time. The video of President Putin's hand in November 2025 was not the first time people talked about his health. For many years, people have looked closely at his public appearances. They often ask if the Russian leader is hiding a health secret. Back in 2022, videos showed President Putin during meetings. He often held on to tables very tightly. For example, during a 12-minute talk with Russia's defense minister Sergei Shoigu, Putin gripped the table's edge the whole time. Some people thought he was trying to keep steady. They wondered if he felt unwell. In the same video, his face looked a bit swollen. Some watchers also said his foot was tapping and he looked stiff. Other pictures from military visits during the Ukraine war raised questions too. These photos seem to show dark spots or marks on President Putin's hands. Some observers even claimed they saw small marks like from injections. These images quickly spread online. Many people tried to guess what they meant. The worries about Putin's health go back even further. In 2005, Brenda Connors, who studied movement for the U.S. Naval War College, looked at videos from Putin's first time as president. She noticed his unusual walk. She said his right arm and leg seemed to move less. Some people thought this could be due to an old illness or a stroke. But these were only ideas, not proven facts. Later, in 2012, reports said Putin had back problems and might need surgery. The Russian government, the Kremlin, said this was not true. They always say President Putin is strong and healthy. Despite these denials, stories about his health have continued over the years. At 73 years old, it is natural to wonder about a powerful leader's health, as health problems are more common with age. These past events show that concern about President Putin's health is a long-standing topic. 4. What doctors say. Many people saw the video of President Putin's hand. They wondered what was wrong. But medical experts say it is impossible to diagnose a person's health from only a short video or pictures. Doctors need to see a patient in person. They must do many tests and examinations to understand someone's condition fully. It is a main rule in medicine that doctors should not try to diagnose people they have not examined themselves. Dr. Ray Chaudhary, a neurologist from the University of London, looked at some earlier video footage. He clearly stated that he found no evidence of Parkinson's disease in Putin from these short clips. He stressed that conditions like Parkinson's are very difficult to diagnose and need a thorough checkup by a neurologist. Caroline Rassel, who leads Parkinson's UK, agreed. She said Parkinson's is a complex condition with over 40 symptoms. It is truly impossible to diagnose it from just a video that lasts a few minutes. Another expert, John Hardy, also explained that real neurologists are taught never to talk about people who are not their patients. This is why the medical community has mostly kept quiet about public guesses. Hands can look different for many simple reasons that are not serious illnesses. Sometimes a hand might swell because of temporary fluid in the body. It could be from inflammation, for example, from mild arthritis, or even a small injury that happened by accident. Allergic reactions can also cause hands to look bigger or red for a short time. These are common things that can happen to anyone. As people get older, their bodies change naturally. For someone over 70, like President Putin, skin on the hands often loses its stretchiness. It becomes thinner, and there is less fat under the skin. These normal changes make the veins on the hands look more noticeable and bigger. This is simply a part of the aging process for many individuals. Hands are also often in the sun, which can make skin look older. It is important to remember that these are normal signs of age. President Putin is also widely believed to have cosmetic treatments to help his face look younger. Doctors say that sometimes these types of procedures can have temporary effects on the body, including the hands. For example, if someone gets special injections or other treatments to make their hands look younger, the hands might swell or change for a few days or weeks. They could look red or different after the treatment. So, the changes seen in the video could be due to such cosmetic work rather than a hidden, serious illness. Without a complete medical checkup, it is impossible for doctors to know the real reason for President Putin's hand appearance. 5. The Kremlin's answer. When people talked about President Putin's health, Russia's government had a clear answer. They always said that President Putin was strong and healthy. This was not new. For many years, the Kremlin, which is Russia's government office, has denied any stories about Putin being sick. After the video of his hand spread in November 2025, the Kremlin did not make a special statement about it. This was their usual way. Instead, Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesman, had often spoken about these kinds of stories. He called them fakes and rumors. He said that Western news and Ukrainian officials made these stories up. For example, in July 2022, when many people were talking about Putin's health, Peskov said that everything was fine with the president. He added that American, British, and Ukrainian information specialists were spreading lies. The Kremlin always said President Putin was in excellent health. They said he could do his job as president very well. The Kremlin's way was to not talk about each specific health claim. They just said all of them were false. In 2015, President Putin had to change a trip to Kazakhstan. People started to guess he was sick. At that time, Peskov told reporters they had spring fever. He meant they were just imagining things. He said the Kremlin stayed calm about these guesses. In October 2023, a special online channel said Putin had a heart attack. The Kremlin quickly said this was not true. Later videos showed President Putin working, which made the story look false. American intelligence agencies watched the situation closely. They were careful about saying if Putin was sick or not. In July 2022, the head of the CIA, William Burns, was asked directly about Putin's health. He said Putin was entirely too healthy. This meant Burns did not see signs of a serious illness, even if others thought so. But he did not give many details. In April 2023, news came out about some secret documents. These documents talked about Ukrainian officials discussing rumors that Putin was getting treatment for cancer. But American officials who looked at these claims said there was no strong proof. Matthew Bryza, a former American intelligence officer, said he did not trust these health rumors much. He explained that in countries where governments hide information, people often talk about leaders' health. It is hard to know what is real and what is not. 6. A story in a war. The stories about President Putin's health are more than just news. They are part of a big information war. This war is happening at the same time as the real war between Russia and Ukraine. In this fight, information itself can be a powerful weapon. For Ukraine, sharing these stories is a way to make Russia look less strong. If people think Putin is sick or weak, it could cause problems inside Russia. This could also help Ukraine in the war. Ukrainian officials often share videos of Putin and add their own ideas. They want to create doubts about the Russian leader's power and ability to lead the country. But for Russia, it is very important that President Putin always looks strong and healthy. A leader's image is very important, especially during wartime. It affects how people trust the government. Russia wants to show that its leader is always in full control. If people in Russia or other countries think Putin is unwell, it could make Russia seem weaker. This is why the Kremlin always says that Putin is in excellent health. They call all bad stories fakes and rumors spread by other countries to hurt Russia. Social media plays a very big role here. Videos and pictures of Putin's hand spread very fast online. On platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Telegram, many people share their thoughts and ideas. Some posts are simple observations, but many others are guesses or even made-up stories. This mix of real and untrue information travels around the world very quickly. This makes it very hard to know what is truly happening. People see the same video but understand it differently. Some think it shows a serious illness. Others believe it is just normal signs of getting older. Because information spreads so fast, it is difficult for anyone to find the real truth about President Putin's health. Both sides use social media to tell their own story. This creates a lot of confusion and makes it harder to see what is real and what is not. 7. Secrets and power. It is very difficult to find out the real truth about leaders in countries like Russia. These governments control all information very strictly. Leaders in such places keep their personal details, especially about their health, a big secret. There are no independent ways to check what they say. Doctors outside the government cannot look at their health. This means the Kremlin can say President Putin is strong and well, but no one can truly confirm this. There is no transparent process to prove or deny these claims with clear evidence. When there are many secrets and no clear facts, people naturally start to ask more questions. This lack of reliable information creates a vacuum, and speculation quickly fills it. Even a small change in a leader's appearance, like a swollen hand, becomes a topic for wide discussion. Other countries, like Ukraine and Western governments, also use these moments to raise concerns. This makes the mystery around the leader's health grow bigger and bigger. This global uncertainty about a powerful leader's health can cause serious problems for the whole world. President Putin leads a country with many nuclear weapons. If his health is not good, it could change how Russia makes big decisions. This includes choices about the war in Ukraine or military actions. In Russia, there is no clear plan for who becomes leader next if something happens to the president. This makes people wonder about the future of power. Other countries find it hard to plan their actions when they don't know this important information. President Putin is 73 years old. This age makes people think about how well a leader can do such a demanding job. As people get older, health problems can become more common. Being a president is one of the hardest jobs in the world. It needs a lot of energy and sharp thinking every day. Sometimes, age can affect a leader's judgment, their comfort with taking risks, or how they plan for the future. The question is not just about a specific illness, but about the general fitness needed for such a powerful role. This important question remains without a clear answer. 8. An unanswered question. The story of President Putin's hand began in November 2025. Many people saw a video where his right hand looked different. It seemed swollen and red, and veins stood out. This made people around the world start asking questions again about his health. Was something serious wrong with the powerful leader of Russia? However, doctors tell us that it is not possible to know if a person has a serious illness just from a video. A hand can look swollen or have noticeable veins for many simple reasons. It could be due to old age, or a small injury, or even temporary fluid in the body. Cosmetic treatments can also change how a person's hands look for a short time. Because of this, we have no real medical proof that President Putin has a serious health problem. The Russian government, called the Kremlin, always says that President Putin is healthy and strong. They have said that stories about his health are false. This makes it very difficult for anyone outside Russia to know the full truth. There are no independent doctors or groups that can check his health and tell the world what they find. The information about him stays secret. This lack of clear facts creates a big problem. When a very powerful leader's health is unknown, it can affect many important things in the world. Countries try to understand what Russia will do next, but not knowing about their leader's health makes it harder to plan. It creates a lot of uncertainty for everyone. This means the world must continue to live with questions and not always have clear answers. So, the question about President Putin's health remains without a clear answer. We have seen that something looked different with his hand in 2025, but we cannot say for sure what it meant. The world continues to watch and wonder. What do you think about leaders keeping their health a secret?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.